Brandon Nixon's out on the approach. Can I get a special VFR clearance? They gave him the clearance, he came in, landed. That's what special VFR clearances are for. It's to get you in and out of an airport if you have certain conditions. It's like when we get that awesome inversion layer in here. You know, how do I get out of here VFR legally? Special VFR. Okay, special VFR though. Who can get a special VFR clearance? During the day.
Anyone but students.
Okay, during the day, anyone but students. During the night.
Instrument rated only.
Instrument rated and
IFR equipped aircraft.
current. And an IFR equipped aircraft. Okay? IFR equipped, it does not say certified. It simply says equipped. Is a Katana IFR equipped?
Sure.
It is. Okay? So you would be good to get a special VFR clearance. On that. Okay, VFR cruising altitudes. VFR on top, that's where it's applicable. Understanding those. If anybody can find me what VFR on top is all about, I would love to learn, because I haven't found anybody who can tell me what the purpose of that is. So, IFR fuel planning, what is it? I have to plan for 45 minutes past my destination, or if I have a legal alternate, beyond my alternate. So if I'm a smart pilot, I'm always going to have an alternate, and it'll always be 45 minutes beyond my alternate. Okay? That 45 minutes of fuel reserve is for what? Why do I have to have 45 extra minutes of fuel?
In case the airport's closed.
Delays.
Poor flight planning.
Yeah.
What it is us dumb pilots kept on running out of fuel, and the FAA said, all right, let's make this easy then. You guys do your flight planning, and then tack on an extra 45 minutes, because you guys obviously don't know how to add. That's realistically what it's for. If you take a flight and do a flight with your minimum fuel, like a VFR flight, when you land, I almost guarantee you will not have 30 minutes in your tank. Okay? So I land in Provo with 1 minute left in my tank. Am I legal?
Yeah.
Yes. What's the 45 minutes there for?
Planning.
For planning. So whenever you have your 30 minutes, now UVU policy says otherwise, okay? Because we add in an extra buffer, an extra margin. But if SkyWest lands their airplane with 5 minutes of fuel in the tanks, they didn't break any laws. Now if they didn't plan for the fuel, then they broke a law. So it is a flight planning thing. Why? Because we're idiots. It is not to get you to an alternate. It is not to help you divert. It is for unforecast headwinds. It's for poor flight planning, or for any other like in-flight delays. That's what it's for. My favorite one is, you know, student pilots. It's for when student pilots forget to lean and they're running full rich. We actually had a student in the instrument program. By the way, don't ever call me from an airplane on a cell phone. I had an instructor who did that the other day on an IFR flight plan. Anyway. But the student calls up his instructor, hey, I'm in flight right now, and I planned this out, and I should have plenty of fuel. I don't know what's going on. What's your fuel flow? 18 gallons an hour. What are you flying, a jet? Lean it out. Oh. It goes real fast. I mean, that's double. He only should have been burning 9. He was burning almost double the fuel he should have. So that goes really, really quick. When you planned a 4-hour flight, and now you just suck the fuel, he had to land and fill up. So that's what that's there for. It's for our stupidity. It is not to get us out of a situation. So teach your students that. Make sure they understand that. That it's not really extra. It's just for us being dumb. FAA got sick of pulling us out of fields. Okay, IFR flight plan minimums. When do I need an alternate? It's the 1, 2, 3 rule. An hour before to an hour after our time of estimated arrival, the weather must be forecast to be better than 2 miles visibility, 2,000 foot ceilings, and 3 miles visibility. 1, 2, 3. An hour before to an hour after, 2,000 foot ceilings, 3 miles visibility. Okay, so if I want to go to Salt Lake, it's got to be forecast within that 2-hour window to be at that or better. Okay? If it is less than that, then I have to pick an alternate airport, which must have a forecast of 602, 600-foot ceilings and 2 miles visibility for IFR, for precision approach, which is only an ILS. Only ILSs count under that category. Or 802 for all other approaches.
Well, aren't some airports different? Don't they have?
They are different. Those are the standard minimums. Now, luckily, Jeppesen is nice enough to just publish them right on the charts for us on the airport diagram. So it's not a big deal. If you're using an FAA thing, it's like, it has this little like note, and you have to go look it up in this other book, and you know, that would be real fun. So that's why we like Jeppesen. So let's say we're going to fly to Salt Lake, and it's forecasting 00. Can we fly there?
And
Oh, that even matter.
Yes. Even if I'm SkyWest, yes. But I must have an alternate. Can my alternate be forecasting 00? No. So that's what they're saying. It's basically, you're going in the clouds. We've got to get you out of those clouds and get you on the ground. So we have to have an absolute guarantee that we're going to be able to do that. Okay? Now if you look at that, 800 or 602 on an ILS. Well, most ILSs bring me down to 200. So that's easily going to make me get into the airport. 802. Well, most of those come into like about 400 or 500. It's going to get me in there. I'm going to be able to land. So it's a guarantee of being able to get us into the airport. Okay, VOR equipment checks. Duration. How often? 30 days. Okay? If I'm doing a ground check, how far off can it be? 4 degrees. Okay, a ground check is actually specified. I didn't bring one. Does somebody have an AFD? I will grab my AFD.
For the VOR?
Yeah.
Dog poop or shit? Just the BPBS.
What is B though?
Bearing
You
error.
got
Bearing,
bearing
okay.
error. So date, place, bearing error, and signature.
Yeah, like sled or something.
Yeah, or sled. Sled's the normal one.
Maybe I'm just dumb. I never knew about this. On the back of your AFDs, I learned this like a year ago. You've got all these tabs, all these little arrows. Did you know that over on the side there's little black tabs for those? I didn't know that. Somebody raise their hand and tell me that I'm not just the only dumb person. Anybody else not know that?
Found that out on the check rack.
There you go. That's the coolest thing. So you just come down here, it says VOR checks. Come over to that little black tab. And these are the published VOR checks. Okay? VOR receiver checkpoints. It's organized by state. Okay? So if you come back to Utah, I've got 3 airborne checks and 1 VOT up in Salt Lake. Okay? So those are published. So that's where I can find them. The airborne checks can be up how far off?
6.
Plus or minus 6. The VOT can be off by how much?
4.
Plus or minus 4. And a dual VOR check where I check 2 against each other? 4 degrees between the two. So that one is just 4. Okay? So when I check those. VOT, how does a VOT work? What does it send out?
360.
The 360 degree radial in all directions. How does it do that? Easy, it just transmits those 2 signals we talked about, both of them omnidirectional. So that way your receiver just receives both signals simultaneously and thinks you're on the 360 radial. So that's why a VOT, you can be anywhere on the airport. There's not a specific point. They do specify, though, whether it's a ground or an airborne VOT. Okay. What do I have to record?
Date.
Date,
Place.
place,
The error.
error, signature. I liked it the way, there's different acronyms for it. I like the way somebody put it. Just think about it, it's like filling out a check. I got to put the date, I got to put the place, I got to put the amount or the error, and I got to put the signature. So just like filling out a check.
Our plane's here.